How do I stop this, John?
Okay, by popular demand. Oh, I'm getting a call. Okay, so some people have been asking to see my comparative study from DP Art, and yeah, I'm just gonna show my comparative study and then talk through it. I forgot what grade I got for my comparative study, but you can probably look back at my process portfolio video. I'll link it in the description if you want to know what I got, because I think I talked about my component scores there. I'll just put like the screens up here. Yeah, okay. My first screen is just the title screen, and it just like explains what the theme of my comparative study is. So it's been like half a year since IB. I don't really remember the guidelines for comparative study, but we had to choose 3 different artworks by 3 different, no, at least 2 different artists, but they have to be from different cultures or time periods. And so my theme for my comparative study was migration. I chose a Mexican artist, an African American artist, and a Chinese artist. And they're all from different time periods, ranging from the 1940s till 2018. And so here you can just see the 3 artworks that I chose, and then a little like explanation of why I chose this theme and these artworks. Also have my mask. Also, I am in my dorm, not my dorm room, Martin Zhang's dorm room, filming this.
You gotta say the name.
Okay. Okay, back to the thing. Okay, second screen. So first screen is formal analysis, which is like all the art language. You have to like really talk about like really in-depth analysis on the artwork itself. And so this first artwork, I talked about the composition, harmony, color, texture, and just a general rule of thumb. You want to do your screens from left to right and top to down. So then my first piece of text that the examiner would read would be composition, and then harmony, and then texture, and then color. And then our teacher also told us to bold the art, like specific art language, just so that the examiner would like focus their attention more on these words and these sentences. And every sentence should have art language and like art analysis, visual analysis. And so yeah, this is one of my screens. And then so I did my comparative study, like one artwork, all of the stuff for one artwork, all of the stuff for another artwork, and then all of the stuff for the third artwork. So it was like artwork, artwork, artwork. It wasn't like formal analysis, formal analysis, formal analysis of artwork 1, 2, 3, and then yeah. So second slide is function and purpose of this artwork. And the function of this artwork was symbolism, symbolic, and the purpose was as a social comment. And so you can see like I took like sections from the artwork itself and then like did analysis and drew like more over it. So I used like iPad and like sketched over it and stuff. And like for these slides you kind of have to do research like on Google, whatever, and you know, cite your sources. And yeah, you can just like read about what I talk about. I honestly don't remember what I'm talking about. Third slide is the cultural significance of this artwork, and I talk about geographic significance, which is the artist's culture and the geographic location of where the artist was situated when he created this work, and also the conceptual significance. And so this was a lot more like more research and stuff to do with that. And so you can see all my like in-text references in like MLA format. Okay, and then this is my second artwork. Same thing, formal analysis. I used composition, unity, shape, color, and movement. And then, yeah, just bold the art language. Remember to talk about like art analysis for every single sentence that you write. So like you can see some of the words I bolded are like two-dimensional, background, middle ground, foreground, perspective, contrast, highlights, rhythm, complementary line. You get the whole, you know, the big old spiel. Function and purpose, same thing. Function, historical, narrative, purpose, social comment. Generally, you want to choose 3 artworks that are really different from each other but portray the same theme, just so that you can like talk more about stuff and like really dive in and analyze it. Cultural significance, I've used historical significance, conceptual significance for the backstory of this artwork and the symbolism of this artwork. Okay, now the third artwork, formal analysis, same thing, composition, mood / atmosphere, contrast, color, texture, composition, size and scale. So yeah, just again, bold the art language. Same thing. This was a Chinese artist, so you can see like it looks a lot more like Chinese with the red and the like liquid paint dripping vibe. Like it's very different to the one before. And then yeah, function and purpose. Function is to be expressive, purpose is aesthetic. And like you can, oh, this is not formatted correctly in these 2 images, but we're just gonna ignore that. Yeah, and so I chose to like cut out certain like imagery from the painting itself and enlarge them so I can talk about them. And like I used the same color line for the same color arrow and like the outline of the picture, just so that like it looked more like put together. And yeah, cultural significance, I used geographic significance, material significance, and conceptual significance. So this is again a lot of like research on Google and stuff. Yeah, it's just like doing research and then like putting it together and like including art language into the research as well. Pretty simple. And then for formal analysis, okay, so after you like analyze each artwork separately, you have to do a formal analysis on all 3, like making connections and comparisons. So yeah, I talk about like they all depict the concept of movement and displacement of people across the picture plane. And then the 4 key ideas or themes or like, yeah, whatever, that I chose were visual movement, texture, focal point, and composition. So like comparing these 4 elements within the 3 artworks. Yeah, so every slide that I had, you have to make a comparison slide of all 3 artworks for each title. So formal analysis, function and purpose, and the cultural significance. So this one I chose reflecting society, narrative, and aesthetic. Cultural context, I chose location, time period, color significance, and audience. And then for HL, you have to make your own artwork based on these 3 artworks and what you've learned, and like connecting all 3 artworks' elements and stuff into your own practice. And so I just talk about my own inspiration, my cultural background, planning my artworks, like doing experimentation, drawing, sketching. And then this is my own artwork, the composition, talk about composition, materials, color, evaluation. You just have to make a like connection towards the artwork. So for my artwork, I used threads and like I sewed into the paper to show like the connection between the first artwork, where you can see a lot of like the texture from the lines. And then I used the dripping effect thing from the Chinese artist, and the red just is like my own Chinese cultural background, and so that like connected with the Chinese artist as well. Oh, and then that was my like original artwork, like my first one. And then you have to like, well, you don't have to, but I just chose to develop and refine that artwork into another work. And so like I took pictures around Hong Kong and like, yeah, did a sketch and, you know, like experimented with textures and things like that. And like you can just read through it, pause and read through it if you wanna, because I don't remember what I said. And then yeah, you show like sort of the process of how you created your own work. And so this was my final work. I did not include this in my exhibition. You're not well, unless your theme for your comparative study matches your exhibition, you're not supposed to use double dipping. You're not supposed to double dip, like use it for your comparative study and your exhibition. Yeah. So this was just a random piece of work we made. And then the conclusion. Yeah, so that's it. Generally, one tip I have is to like balance the pictures you have and the text you have on a slide. Obviously, for some slides, like cultural context, there isn't really like any informative or good pictures to put in, and so those will have more text. But like generally you want to like balance negative space and like, you know, like white space and space that you fill with text and pictures, just so that it doesn't look really cramped. Like what are they called? Examiners, they don't want to like, you know, they have to mark so many. When they see like a whole page of just text, they might be like, whoa, like, oh, headache. But like, yeah, that's one tip I have. And then another tip is just to like bold the art language, and also make sure you talk about art stuff in every single sentence, or else what is the point? I guess that's it. Like, obviously don't copy my comparative study, because, you know, they'll put it through, turn it in, and then it'll be like a red flag. But yeah, so that's basically it. That's all I have for this video. And if you want to see other stuff, you know, comment down below.
Bye-bye.
This guy had to shut up. Had to shut up for the past 15 minutes for me to record. Hehe. I am also using his room. But yeah, until next time. Bye.